We've always been told that aging is a one-way street. But what if it's not? We're about to dive into some truly groundbreaking research that suggests our bodies might have a hidden reset button, and it could challenge everything we thought we knew about getting old. We always think of aging as this inevitable process, right? Like a car that just slowly wears down over time. But what if that's the wrong way to look at it? What if our bodies have a built-in ability to actually reset the clock? So how could this even be possible? Well, the secret is in a field called epigenetics. The best way to get your head around it is with a simple analogy. Think of your DNA as your body's hardware. It's the physical machine and it's pretty much fixed. But the epigenome, that's the software that tells the hardware which programs to run. And, just like any software, it can get buggy and corrupted over time. And this leads us to a really radical new idea, the information theory of aging. It suggests that getting old isn't really about our body's hardware breaking down. No, it's about a loss of information. It's that epigenetic software getting so scrambled that our cells literally forget how to be young. Okay, so if the big problem is just corrupted software, the next obvious question is, can we run a system reset? This is all about the search for a cellular reset button. Now, scientists have known for a while about these incredibly powerful proteins called Yamanaka factors. They're amazing. They can take, say, a skin cell and rewind it all the way back to a stem cell. But here's the problem. It's too powerful. It's kind of like completely wiping your computer's hard drive. It can cause tumors and just general chaos because the cells forget what they're supposed to be. And this is where this new study is just so clever. The researchers realized that most of the danger was coming from just one of those 4 factors, a gene called MYC, which is known to be linked to cancer. So what did they do? They just took it out. And by doing that, they created a new, much safer 3-part cocktail, OSK. This was the real breakthrough. It doesn't wipe the hard drive, it just reboots the system. It makes the cell young again, but lets it remember what its job is. So now, with this much safer tool ready to go, it was time for the first huge test. And they didn't pick an easy one. They went for one of the toughest challenges in all of medicine, trying to regrow damaged nerves in the central nervous system. The experiment was incredibly ambitious. They wanted to see if this new OSK therapy could do something that's basically considered impossible, repair a crushed optic nerve in an adult mouse. I mean, that kind of damage is supposed to be permanent. And the results? Well, they were just stunning. Take a look at the image on the left. That's the untreated nerve. You can see how it just stops dead at the injury. But now, look at the right. With the OSK therapy, wow. There's this massive wave of regeneration just flowing right past the point of damage. The difference is just night and day. You have to understand how significant this is. This wasn't some minor repair work. This was massive regeneration of axons. Those are the long, thread-like parts of nerve cells. And it happened in a part of the body that's famous for not healing. It was an incredible proof of concept. All right, so it works on a direct physical injury. But what about something more complex? What about the damage you get from a progressive disease like glaucoma? Or what about just plain old vision loss from the aging process itself? The next experiment was even bolder. So first, they simulated glaucoma in mice by raising the pressure in their eyes to damage the optic nerve. And here's the key part. They waited until the mice had already lost a lot of their vision. It was only then that they gave them the OSK therapy. And here's the jaw-dropping number. The therapy restored 50% of the vision that had been lost. Just let that sink in for a second. This wasn't about preventing vision loss. This was about reversing it after the damage was already done. But they weren't done. For the final test, they took healthy but old mice that were just losing their sight because of age. And it worked again. They managed to restore the vision in these 12-month-old mice all the way back to the level of a young animal. When you put all of these incredible results together, they all point toward one really profound idea. It looks like our bodies might be holding on to a perfect, pristine backup copy of their own youthful instructions. This image here really tells the whole story on a molecular level. On the left, you've got the clean, orderly epigenetic pattern of a young cell. In the middle, you see all that chaotic epigenetic noise. That's the corrupted software caused by age. And then, on the right, after the OSK treatment, that youthful pattern is back. The noise is just gone. The scientists themselves said it best in their paper. They concluded that our tissues actually hold on to a record of youthful epigenetic information, and that we can access that record to basically turn back the clock on tissue function. So what this really all means is, our cells might not ever truly lose the instructions for how to be young. They just forget how to read them. So in this new model, aging isn't really decay. It's a form of forgetting. And this therapy, it's like the software update that helps our cells remember. And that leaves us with one final, kind of awe-inspiring question. If our cells really do hold a backup copy of their youth, and we're only just now learning how to access it, what else could we restore?